We began a scenario where the Ginyu Force not only survived, but now turned good, working for the Galactic Patrol. What's going to happen next? We'll cover all that and more in the second part of What If the Ginyu Force Turned Good. As warned by future Gohan and Trunks, the androids eventually show up in the city one day. The Z-Fighters all fly out, prepared for battle, but by the time they get there, there's already another crew there. As Zero and 19 are looking around the city, they encounter some strong warriors. The Ginyu Force is there, and the first thing they do is strike a pose. They see that the Ginyu Force is already in combat with the androids. First of all, they didn't expect the Ginyu Force to be here, and second, they're surprised to see that they're actually doing pretty well against the androids. With their combined power plus their great abilities, they beat Android 19 pretty easily. Jiro panics and tries to escape, and as he flies away, Ginyu enacts his body change. He's not actually going to take 20's body for himself, but this is just an easy way to stop him. It's not really an honorable way to finish the fight, but it's a good last resort to have. Plus, this works for another reason too. While in Jiro's body, he completely dismantles it. It is interesting to see that this guy's at least part human because, well, the brain's there, the rest of him is just completely robotic. Otherwise, Ginyu wouldn't have been able to swap with him. And Jiro's stuck in Ginyu's body confused now, but it doesn't last very long. Ginyu immediately swaps back. And now, Jiro is stuck in his body, completely immobilized, and it lets the Ginyu Force defeat him pretty easily. Although, they don't completely destroy the body, because Ginyu had an idea here. He wanted to get some data on the androids too. Now, he's not sure what he could do with it. He's not really that smart with technology, but maybe Bulma could help with it. He just knows her as Jocko's really smart friend and that woman that was on Namek. And he learned she's pretty smart. The smartest person in the world, actually. His idea is kind of gross, though. He gets Dr. Jiro's head, and Jiro's actually still alive as a head, but he can't really do much like this. So he's going to take this to Bulma, and then she's going to try and extract some data from him. They are doing this as a precaution because even though they have no reason to believe there's any other info that they need, it wouldn't hurt to get this, because what if these aren't the only android threats? The thing that concerns them is that these ones are named 19 and 20. So there's at least 18 others. Of course, he doesn't know most of them are failed projects, but still. This is obviously going to end up being a really smart move. He gives it to Birder, and he quickly goes over to the capsule core. He is the fastest in the world after all, so he makes a good delivery man. And thanks to his training, he actually is the fastest here, and it's not a bluff. Despite not being the strongest, his speed definitely makes up for it. Anyways, they've already finished the job, and they see Goku. Ginyu's really glad to see him again. He was a really interesting warrior, but the second he sees Goku, Goku then falls out to the heart virus. The rest of the group panics, thinking that maybe the Ginyu Force did something, but they swear it's not them. And then they remember, oh yeah, Goku has the heart virus, and he probably just didn't take his medicine. So while Goku recovers, the rest of the group is able to track down Jiro's lab. It's kind of gross for Bulma to work with Jiro's disembodied head, but she basically downloads all the data from it. They know everything about him now. They know where the lab is, all his previous projects, they know about Cell. There's so much good info on here. Apparently there are 2 other androids which aren't necessarily failed, but Jiro is probably going to use them as a last resort. He might have even been going to the lab to activate them. It's 17 and 18. By now, Trunks and Gohan are actually back, and they confirm that those 2 are the androids that were actually attacking their timeline. But they're pretty concerned, because first of all, 2 completely different androids showed up. They never encountered Jiro or Android 19. And second, the Ginyu Force never arrived this early, so it's dawning on them right now that this is a completely different timeline, and it's not going to affect theirs. Which is fine, they kind of just did this as a last resort to maybe bring everything back to normal, but it's not like the androids are a problem to them anymore. Although, they didn't know about Cell, so this is a really good thing for them. Once they go back, they'll be able to destroy him. But that makes them wonder, what else has changed here? If that much is different already, then maybe some other things went differently thanks to them traveling through time. They get to Jiro's lab, and they actually find 17 and 18, but they don't just destroy the 2 of them right away. Now, the other androids, yeah, they could just blow up everything here because they're just all mechanical. But 17 and 18 haven't actually done anything yet, and they know everything about Jiro now, including how he started these projects in the first place. He kidnapped these 2. They used to be normal people, but he forced them to become his androids. So it would be pretty merciless to just kill them, especially since they didn't do anything yet. Trunks and Gohan are a little bit hesitant, but they've seen how much has changed so far, so who knows if these androids are different from their timeline too. They take these 2 back to Bulma, and she does a good thing by actually reprogramming them. Jiro's disembodied head is still there, and he's really pissed off to see this. At first, Bulma thought he was just kind of gross to have around, but now he's kind of becoming more of a nuisance. But she doesn't want to let all that intelligence go to waste either. Anyway, she reprograms the androids, and she's not a surgeon, she can't just remove the bombs from them either, but all the evil stuff Jiro added is gone. And surely 17 and 18 can't go back to complete normal lives, but at least this is better than being Jiro's pawns. And Jiro mainly just programmed them to want to kill Goku and everything. But they're not inherently evil, which is pretty good to see. So they go off on their own. And it looks like the Ginyu's job here is done. They're going to actually stay on Earth for a bit. They deserve a vacation. They know apparently the food here is really good according to Jocko. Plus, Ginyu would love to test his power out against some Super Saiyans. Gohan and Trunks are here, and Vegeta's obviously returned by now. And soon enough, Goku's going to be completely cured. The 4 of them are all Super Saiyans. And if the Super Saiyan is what defeated Frieza, well, Ginyu wants to see if the legend is enough to stop him now. Because they have done a lot of great training. Before they get ready to battle, let's cover something else first. Cell, of course, is still in the past. The future one. And by the future one, I guess I mean that third random timeline. You know the one I mean. This is the Cell we all know. He's of course here for the androids. He goes around absorbing people, and he gets to Jiro's lab a few days later, because he doesn't see the androids anywhere. He'd assumed they're active by now. But when he's at the lab, everything's gone. It's just all been completely destroyed. Android 17 and 18's pods are open, but they're not in there. 19 was also activated too. But all the others, there's nothing left of them. He even goes down to the other part of the lab and he finds the present version of Cell is gone too. He's been deactivated and destroyed. There are still some resources in this lab, but he wonders if this is a good idea because they clearly know about the lab now. This was definitely Goku and friends that destroyed it. But Cell doesn't really have another choice. Stealing a time machine is going to be tough because he definitely can't use his anymore, and he's sure that Trunks and Gohan have arrived from the future, but he'd then have to face them and the entire group. They know about Cell now. They probably don't know about him specifically, but they know Cell was a thing. So maybe he still is undercover. They might not even know that he traveled through time. That's at least one thing working in his favor. By the way, some things about Cell are different. Of course, the computer stopped collecting data after Frieza showed up, but before then, he got all of the Ginyu's data. When everyone came back from Namek, the drones detected a fight. Vegeta, Gohan, and Piccolo versus the Ginyu Force. Thankfully, they didn't get any data on Maris when he showed up. Not thinking he was important enough, same for Jocko. But from this fight, the drone saw the power of the Ginyu Force, so Cell here has a few extra parts. But he does have a plan. He's going to try and rebuild the androids, or at least the parts for the androids that he needs. He starts working in this lab. It's going to take some time to rebuild, but he has the info for it. Meanwhile, the Ginyus fight the Super Saiyans. Ginyu himself fights Goku, and this is kind of a rematch. Of course, very different though, because Ginyu's a lot stronger, and Goku has Super Saiyan. Goku's really impressed with the Ginyu's power. He's actually just about as strong as Super Saiyan and Vegeta right now, and the rest of the Ginyu Force is also very powerful as well. Much stronger than the Earthlings, but not particularly on the Saiyans level. Rikuma's become the second strongest. And despite not being the strongest in the group, Birder is really the fastest here. Goku has no clue how this even works because he even tries to fight Birder, and Birder's faster than him, which is kind of crazy. And Vegeta still finds all this ridiculous. Why is the Ginyu Force here working with them? Sure, they have definitely fully reformed, but it's just so weird to him to see this. Ginyu says their pay at the Galactic Patrol is pretty nice. They proved that they were capable of doing the job, and now they work as a special unit there. Plus, they like what they do. It's very consistent work, and they get to have some good fights with it too. Most important, they have their freedom. They're not locked in those cages there. Gohan and Trunks are pretty happy with how everything turned out. They couldn't change their future, but at least they changed this timeline. Trunks and Gohan get ready to go home, saying their goodbyes to everybody, and they're going to make sure to destroy Cell too. Maybe future Bulma could find some useful things at that lab as well. Although, not too long after Gohan and Trunks leave, there's an issue. Bulma finds another time machine, as well as what looks to be some part of Cell that was left behind. Some weird shell of him. Everyone's on alert, but no one knows what it means. Bulma consults Jiro's disembodied head, and he starts laughing. That means Cell must have succeeded in another timeline, coming here for some reason. Maybe to get the androids for himself. Who knows? Maybe there is hope for him after all. They try and find Cell, but he keeps a low profile. And at one point they do show up to the lab. They don't find him in there, but what happened is he actually built another secret part of the lab, suppressing his ki and everything as well. And he works for a really long time. He doesn't have many resources, and it takes months to do everything. But about a year later, there's a strange broadcast on the television. There was an attack on some news station, and somebody hijacked it. He introduces himself as Cell, and he announces the Cell Games, and he addresses some people in particular. He wants Earth's strongest people to show up. He'd especially love to see Son Goku, the former World Tournament champion, as well as all of his friends. There's no doubt that this is Cell. I mean, he just called himself Cell, but the weirdest part is he's perfect. The group has been trying to search for him for so long, and he was able to remain completely hidden. Jiro sees this broadcast too and is elated. That's why Cell was his greatest project. Look what he did. He came back here, and he made himself perfect even without the androids. But the Red Ribbon Army will truly have their revenge after all. The Ginyus are called back to Earth again, just in case. They learn of what happened, and how Cell apparently came from another timeline. And they know from Jiro that Cell basically just rebuilt the androids. At least that's his theory. There's no other explanation of how he became perfect. There was a point when Bulma suggested maybe using the Dragon Balls to find him, but the rest of the group kind of opted against it. Look what happened with the androids. They trained for that, it acted as a good motivator, and it turned out the androids weren't even enemies. At least 17 and 18 weren't. So they've been training in preparation for the fact that they'd probably have to fight Cell at some point. They still have some time before the tournament though. Cell gives them about a week. Goku does show up to the Cell Games arena at one point. He's not here to fight, just to see Cell for himself. And Cell's happy to see him. It's good to finally meet him. They are brothers after all. And Goku asks Cell what his goal is. Well, he loves fighting. He just wants to have fun. But he's also going to kill everyone in the process, of course. He gave them time to prepare because he knows no one can compare to him as he is right now. And Goku smirks hearing this. He's not really too sure about that. He says goodbye. He'll see Cell really soon. Even though the group's been training for the past year, They decide it wouldn't hurt to get a little bit of extra training here and there. And after gauging Cell's power for himself, Goku thinks they do need a little bit more training, which leads them to the Room of Spirit and Time. They're not going to go in there for a full year, though. By now, Vegeta's actually found a way to go beyond Super Saiyan, and so has Goku, with Gohan also becoming a Super Saiyan himself. But they only know about Grade 2 and Grade 3 at the moment. Goku knows they're about to unlock something completely new. Vegeta is the first one to go in, and he goes in alone, training for about half a year, perfecting Super Saiyan for himself. Exactly what Goku was going to try. So he goes in with Gohan, and after half a day in there, they do the same thing. But they've also found something else in there too. The Ginyu Force even goes in together, like the whole crew's in there. They only train for a few months though. And on the outside they even spar with some of the humans. Krillin even finds this kind of surreal. I mean, it's not the first time an enemy's become a friend for them, but the Ginyu Force is kind of different. Maybe not too much different from Vegeta, but still. One other thing here is that Chaozu asks Goldo to train him, interested in his telekinesis. And Chaozu actually learns a lot from him, getting better with his own telekinetic abilities, and even learning how to stop time like Goldo. And Goldo's glad to be appreciated for once. He's always been the weakest Ginyu, and still only about as strong as Chaozu, but with their combined telekinetic prowess, imagine what they could do. The Cell games begin, and the first fight is Goku versus Cell, then Ginyu versus Cell. Ginyu of course tries to steal Cell's body, but Cell's immune. As part Ginyu, he of course knew about this, and he's come up with a way to counter it. He defeats Ginyu, and reveals he has the abilities of the rest of the Ginyu Force too, including Goldo's time stop. The next person to fight is Gohan, with Goku saying he's the strongest right now, and Gohan immediately transforms into his full power, utilizing a new form he calls Super Saiyan 2. All his training got him access to this already, and Gohan has a really clear advantage, but Cell having time stop helps him here, and because of that, Cell might actually be able to win this fight. But then something unexpected happens. Chaozu then jumps into the battle, latching onto Gohan's back. Gohan's not sure what he's doing, but then he sees when Cell stops time again. In the stop time, Gohan's able to move, because Chaozu's activating his power on both of them at the moment. None of the other fighters can see what's happening in the stop time, except for Goldo. He's actually immune to this too. And he's amazed that Chaozu thought of that. That's awesome. They could use this to really help their allies. And now Cell has no chance at winning. Gohan fights with the Chaozu backpack, and Cell gets a bit desperate. Right when Gohan's about to kill him, Cell then tries to body swap with Gohan, and they think it's all over now. He's gonna get the strongest person's body, and Gohan has no way of countering it. But just as the technique's about to hit him, somebody jumps in front of Gohan. The fastest person there was able to react in time. Burter. The body swap completes. And now, Burter is in Cell's body, and vice versa. And Burter quickly takes the opportunity and kills Cell. Even though it means he's going to destroy his own body, he's got to complete the mission. So Cell's been defeated at the hands of Burter. He's a bit bummed that he's lost his body, but this might be kind of cool. He's way stronger, has more abilities now, and the only person above him is Gohan at the moment. Nice. It's not like he could access Cell's full power at the moment. And he could wish for his body back, but he kind of likes the idea of this. And with that, we'll leave off here for now. What do you guys think about this part? What's going to happen next? Leave your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help out the channel, and it shows me you want to see more videos like this. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.